Greetings of the day. I am Pratha Jala, an assistant professor from Department of Business and Industrial Management, Veer Narmad, South Gujarat University. This lecture is on communication process, which is recorded for the assignment of academic writing. Communication is in the universe. It is as common as eating or breathing, done by each and everyone, infant or old, poor or rich, educated or uneducated. You always don't need words to communicate. Communication, the word has come from this Latin word communis, which means common, common for all, as a communication is common for all of us. Irrelevance with the language we use, but yes, we do communicate. Definition of communication given by Robert Anderson, which states that communication is interchange of three things, that is your thoughts, whatever opinions you are having about something or some other people, or information which you are having in your mind. So you are communicating your thoughts, opinions, and information by using speech, that is the oral communication, written, that is a written communication, and the last one is a signs, that is through a non-verbal communication. Another definition given by Alan Lewis states that communication is the sum of all things one person does when he wants to create understanding in the minds of others. Here, the most important word is creating understanding. And how you can create this understanding is through the process of telling, listening, and understanding. So, the communication also implies that you must create understanding in the mind of other people. Now, we will see the process of communication, various steps which are involved in any communication process. The first element of the communication process is a sender. So, sender is initiator of the communication. He might have thoughts, opinions, information, or knowledge in his mind which he wants to send to another person. So, he is the one who selects the channel and a proper time to communicate. Let us take an example. If an accountant wants to give report to his superior, so here the accountant is a sender. If a sales manager wants to give target to the market representatives, then here the sales manager is a sender. The next thing is encoding. It is putting message into symbols, that can be words, actions, signs, pictures, or even audio visuals. Here you are encoding a message to create same level of understanding as yours in the mind of other person. After encoding, now the sender will draft a message which is organized, well shaped, and which is having selective thoughts. The message can be a verbal or a non-verbal communication. Till now, it is in the mind of a sender because he has not yet communicated it with the other person. The next step is selection of a channel. The channel can be a written mode, oral, live projection, audio, or a visual. It depends on an interpersonal relation between sender and the receiver, urgency of the message, importance of the message, number of receivers, cost, and amount of information. For example, you want to send a lengthy message to another person. It is better you select a written form of communication because in oral form it can be forgotten. If you want to create an impact in the mind of a receiver, then you can send it through a video or a visual. It will create a longer impact in his mind. The next element in the communication process is the receiver. Here, receiver is a targeted audience. He can be a single person, a group of person, or it can also be a mass audience. So, this receiver gets the message and he or they tries to put it in their own interpretation. The next step in a communication process is decoding. Decoding, in simple terms, is translating. So, a receiver translates the message, his own attitudes, ability, opinion, communication skills, culture, customs, and many more other things affects decoding of the message. Here, there are the more chances where miscommunication can occur. Then it comes feedback. It completes the communication process. Receiver sends signals to the sender that he has received and understood the message. These signals can be just a nod, a reply to a letter or an email, or the answer to the question, or it can also be a question in return of a question. Through feedback, sender gets to know that whether his or her message is understood or not. Through a proper feedback, chances of miscommunication can be reduced. Throughout the communication process, there is one more element which is noise, which means any form of distraction or disturbance that affects transmission of the message. The noise can be anywhere in the whole communication process. It can be in the mind of a sender where he is not clear about what he wants to say. It can be in the form of a message where a sender has written a message but he has not used a proper language. It can be from the side of a receiver when he has not heard the message carefully. It can be just in the form of a channel where when you are sending a message through a mobile phone and there is a disturbance in the channel, or when you want to send a message through a fax machine and it is not working. It can also be there in the feedback form where the receiver is not sending a proper feedback. So, the noise is an inevitable element which is everywhere in the whole communication process. So, if you want to make communication process effective, you need to reduce the noise. Noise, that means the disturbance in any element of the communication process. This was all about the communication process. Thank you for your kind attention.